Hello everyone. This is me. Well, not me, but my character. Oh, fuck, I did it again. Whatever. So, this is my character, and this is Throne and Liberty. Today we're going to see what's up with cooking. I think it's the best thing to show you after I showed you the expedition and the fishing, because both of them give you resources to actually use in cooking. So let's go and check what can you do and what's the best recipes for cooking. Let's start from the top. First, we have attack. These are all the plates. These are all the recipes that actually give you attack bonuses. And let's go one by one. First one, we have the roasted honey apple. This one requires honey and apples. In order to get apples, any of the two, you should actually go and gather fruit star tree in any location, any of these locations. So it's above 41 level and above. If you farm trees in these locations, there is actually a chance to get a golden or a golden apple or a simple apple, a normal one. How can you find fruit star tree? The fruit star trees only spawn when it's raining. So when you see there's rain in the game, just go to these locations and start farming trees. The honey, you can farm honey from wasps in Laslan. In the Golden Ray pastures, this is the first location you go in the game. And then you can buy five honey through the Sandris Merchant in any location in the game. You can only buy 5 of them per day, and this is one of the daily resources I told you to buy in the previous video. Now, this one gives you PvP hit chance and PvP critical chance. That's not used very much, generally, but if you go to PvP, if you go just for PvP, that's your go-to food as a DPS. Now, let's go to the fried egg. The fried egg is one of the best food to use while you go for bosses. You need any kind of egg. There are 3 eggs you can get in the game by killing monsters. There's the lizard egg, which you can actually get to Sharodoma Island by hunting the reptilian soldiers, and in the Moonlight Desert you can hunt Spineback Lizard. Apart from that, there's the events that give you resources, but let's stick with this one, with these two. So it's hunting an abyssal contract, the normal lizards in the desert, and the Cerodoma, the reptilians. The next egg is the sandworm egg. This one is next to the desert. We already talked about the moonlight one, and it's at the sandworm layer. You just kill sandworms and get the egg. The third one you can actually gather and get more of them, is the terror bird egg, which you can actually get in nesting grounds in Laslan by hunting down birds, but I don't know if you want to do this. And then there are the normal eggs. The only way to get these eggs is by buying them from the merchant. This is another daily resource. You can only buy 10 of them each day, so that's another resource you should actually go and buy. The next one is the wild game steak. This one is one of the food that every guy tells you to get if you are a DPS. Why is that? That's because it gives you 60 all hit chance and 60 all heavy attack chance. The heavy attack chance in the game, well, what does heavy attack do? Heavy attack multiplies whatever damage you do by 2. So if you do 3000 damage, you actually do 3000 by 2. So you deal 6000 damage. This is far better than critical hitting an enemy, and that's why this food is the go-to for any DPS class. In order to do this, you want tomato, which you can buy at Sundries without a daily limit, so you can buy how many you want. Then there is salt. Salt, as we talked in expeditions, is one of the resources you can farm, but it's quite the drop rate is not very good, so you should actually go to expeditions to get it. So these are all the places you can hunt for salt. As we already talked in previous videos, Salt is only gatherable in Windhill Shore and in Daybreak Shore from any crustacean or enemy in the shore. Okay. So and you can get it from the events, but we don't care about the events. We will stick to the hunt. So you can hunt them here in these two locations, or from Amito expeditions. For me, the best option is to do the Amito expeditions to get them in a steadily rate. And here you have to use some kind of meat. There are different kinds of meat you can farm throughout the game from enemies. So it's the forest wolf you can get from killing the lycans, the gray wolves in the Grey Claw forest. There is the desert wild game you can get from killing enemies in Moonlight Desert, Mana Wastes, and Abandoned Stone Mansion Town. These are the enemies you should kill. We have the Black Pig Pork, if I'm not mistaken. That's the Pure Light Hill. You kill black boars in Pure Light. You can actually pair this or this one with your daily contracts, but we will talk about them in another video. These are the Terror Bird meat. You can pair these with the eggs. You kill the same enemies to get them. Then there's the pork. You can only get from Fanged Boar in Carmine Forest. And the wolf meat, which is actually at Black Hole Plains, where you have the event you need to hunt wolves. Now, I'll show you another way to get salt. So if you go to shop and go to the it's not, oh wait, oh, battle pass, yeah. If you go to your battle pass and go here, there is salt here. This is the best deal, I think, in the season pass. Salt, getting salt from here, it's so great because you get so much salt. For me, just get the salt if you want to cook, or if you don't, I don't care. I mean, for me, if you don't want to cook right now, you will cook later. So just get the salt. As for rotein is pretty easy to get, but if you want, take rotein as well. It's fine. It's up to you. But salt, yeah, just get the salt. Now let's continue to cooking. The next one is it's a high level one. That's a Kassler Banquet. That's a whole platter. This one you have to actually craft all three of these recipes and get a blue rarity item, a blue rarity outcome, and then you use this with blue marint or any other blue marint. It's okay, it's up to you. And then you create this one. This is a dish that up to 6 people can eat from, so you're not cooking just for yourself, you're cooking for multiple people. I have it here because it gives critical chance, hit chance, and boss bonus damage. That's okay, but if you see here the chance, I think it's better. I don't know, it's up to you. It's up to you. But this is good for leveling up. If you want to focus on leveling up, this is good. There is a barbecue platter. Now, this is another high level recipe. There is a problem with this one. So every one of these resources you can buy at an unlimited amount, and you can buy them from the Sundries merchant, as you can see here. All three of these: the cheese, the onion, and the corn. Then you need to farm for meat, but you also need to farm for curry powder. So the curry powder is not obtainable through expeditions at the moment. In order to farm curry, you have to actually fight these mobs in Monolith Wastelands. And these mobs, I mean, I don't know. The drop rate of curry is so low. I don't know I don't know. So it's right here. You farm it here in these two places, in Tara's Memorial and Sunflame Bandit Base. Here are the most mobs. I don't know what's happening with curry. I truly don't know. So yeah, it's so hard to get it. But these are the buffs: bonus damage +7 and buff duration. That's actually good in specific scenarios. But again, let's unfavorite it because of two reasons. First is the curry, and second, the buffs are okay, but not great. You'll see why later on. Then we have the sweet grilled mushrooms. This one is the same as the wild game steak, but instead of heavy attack chance, which is the better stat, it gives you critical chance. So why is it the better stat? Heavy attack, as we said, multiplies your attack, while critical chance gives you the max amount of damage you can do with an attack. So that's why this one is better. So again, you need the honey, which is a limited resource, only 5 per day, and then you need the mushrooms, which you can actually gather from the medicinal mushrooms in these locations. The next recipe is the herbal marinated chicken drumsticks. You need to have the terror bird meat. No other meat actually works because that's the only chicken meat in the game. And you need the same mushrooms as for the grilled mushrooms. And of course you need salt. So yeah, again you need salt. This one actually gives you both critical hit chance and heavy attack chance. So if you have high enough hit chance and you don't want any more hit chance, this is the best out of both this one and this one. This is the best one. And I think this is the best by far. So moving on, we have the fish steak. The fish steak gives you all hit chance plus skill damage boost 40. This one is also a great one, but with this one, you don't actually max out your damage, but you have a more steady amount of damage you can actually deal. In order to craft this, you need garlic, which is again unlimited through the sandwich merchant. You need, now listen to this, you need fresh fish water. You can't use salt fish. So this is why I was actually fishing in the lake. This is why I was actually fishing in the lake right here to get the specific fish I want for this recipe. And you need basil. So in order to get basil, you need to go out and gather from wild herbs, and you get basil this way. Let's go to the next one. Then we have tender meat and pine mushrooms. So for this one, you actually need freshwater fish again. And you need the mushrooms. These are another type of mushrooms. These are the pine mushrooms, but you get them in the same location as the previous ones. Again, you need milk and cheese, which you can actually buy in abundance. This one gives you bonus damage plus 12. This is good, but there are better recipes that give you bonus damage. Now let's go to the grilled crown fish. The grilled crown fish, you can actually use fresh water from what I'm seeing, saffron and salt. We've talked about how you obtain salt. Saffron, on the other hand, you actually need to hunt these monsters in these abyssal locations, which is the Temple of Silave, Silius Abyss, and the Shadow Crypts. So any dungeon you actually go to right now gives you saffron, but please be mindful of what mobs give you the saffron, because if you go to Silius Abyss and go to a floor higher than floor 3, you're not going to get it. Oh, you're actually going to get it. You don't get it in the depths. So you get it only from up to floor 4, and you don't get it if you go down to the depths where there are demon hoofs and stuff like that. From them you get rotein. Another way to get saffron is by gathering bloomed or normal wild herbs, and these are the locations. And from hunting, you can also hunt creatures out in the world, in the ruins of Rain and the Satyr Temple. So these are the mobs you can actually hunt to get saffron, which is actually great because if you do your daily contracts, you get enough saffron to do some cooking, so that's fine. This one, that's why I said there is a food with better bonus damage. This one gives you 7 bonus damage and 50 skill damage bonus. This one is better than both this one and this one. But this one gives you hit chance. So let's move on. We have the Aurora Sea Platter. We can't cook it because there is no grapefruit as of making this video. And then we have the boss plates. Now, all these plates are actually crafted by getting this resource from the bosses. You need fermented protein. You can get it from the expeditions at the Dawnbreak, if I'm not mistaken. And you can actually get it. You can also get it from the dungeons doing bosses. So don't care about this one, just do the expeditions to get it. While this one, the blue resource, this one, it's a boss specific. So in order to get the Antwings, you have to kill the last boss in Cave of Distraction. And this one gives you boss hit chance plus 100. That's amazing. And bonus damage and bonus reduction towards Wildkin. These are a specific type of enemies. You can check out the map to see what enemies are what. Now, if we go down, here is the same kind of food, of buff, but it gives you damage boost and damage resistance with the same bonus hit. You need the fermented, and now you need the lizard scale, which you get from the last boss in Tyrant's Isle. Moving on, we have this one, which is actually the same thing again. But here you can actually get the Orc Heart from the Butcher's Canyon. And this one gives you humanoid bonus damage and resistance, while this one was giving you Wildkin. Next, we have this one. We can't craft this one because we need wine to get the Aurora, and we need wine to get this one, I think. Moving on, we have another boss platter, and this one needs mana blood. In order to get mana blood, you should actually farm the dungeons, but don't even care, don't even bother about gathering it in dungeons. You can actually get it in expeditions, so that's how you're gonna get it. That's why I have 67. And then you need the blue one, which is again from a boss. From Table of Slaughter, you get the Beast Fang and craft this one. This one gives you, again, bonus hit chance 100% and 50 to the demon damage boost and demon damage resistance. And the last one needs mana blood again. You get bonus to undead, and you need to farm the Cursed Wasteland and the Death's Abyss to get the Reaper's Soul to actually do this. So as you can see, all this gives you damage boost, damage resistance in specific kind of enemies, let's say in specific race enemies, while the Ant one is the only one that gives you flat bonus damage and damage reduction. This one gives you damage boost, while this one is bonus damage. I mean, what the Let's move on to defense. These are all the plates for defense purposes. We're gonna speed it up a little bit. So this one, again, it's a meat onion soup. It gives you all defense plus 150. That's like wearing a top blue grade boot, for example, or a blue grade chest, if I'm not mistaken, and maxed out at level 9. You need onion, salt. Again, the onion is unlimited, and then you need to use one kind of meat to cook. And then we have the forest goulash. That's all evasion, all CC resistance. Yeah, that's more for PvP defensive purposes. So if you're a tank and you want to PvP, that's something you should actually craft. Honey, you can get from Wasp and 5 daily. Basil, you have to farm it through the wild herbs. Eggs, only a terror bird egg will work here. That's a specific terror bird egg recipe. And any kind of meat. Moving on, we have another baguette for up to 6 players. That reduces the damage you take from bosses. Gives you 60 evasion, 60 endurance. And you need all these, you need these 3 plates at blue rarity in order to craft this one. And up to 6 players can eat from it. Moving on, we have the Lastland Fish Stew. This is a great fish stew. In order to craft it, you want the salty water fish, and milk and garlic. What does it give you? It gives you evasion and endurance. Now we'll come back to it because it's a kind of recipe that you need to have, and we'll talk about later why. Then we have the Terror Birds 2. It gives you 60 evasion and heavy attack evasion. That's good if you go to PvP and you want defense against heavy attacks. Again, it's all up to you. I can tell you what recipes are the best to have and the easiest, and the comparison between their effects and how easy they are to craft. But again, that's my personal preference, so you do you. I'm here just to tell you what there is in the game. There is the fish pottage. You can actually use salty fish for this one, and you need celery. In order to get celery, you need to farm it from wild herbs like basil. There is garlic, milk. These two are you can buy how many you want from the sundries, and you want salt fish to do this. Then we have Lastland style braised meat. Oh, did we say what it is? All endurance and heavy attack evasion. Yeah, we did. So we have Lastland style braised meat. It gives you all evasion 50, skill damage resistance 60, salt, honey, garlic, and only black pig pork. You can't replace this one because that's a specific dish for a specific meat. White meat mortis. In this one, again, you use saltwater fish and tomato, salt, mushroom, eggs, and the fish. What does it do? Reduces damage taken by 9 and debuff duration minus 3%. The damage reduction 9 is to flat damage. That's not a small amount. I'm just saying. Now we have the dawn crab platter. This one you can't actually create it because again, it needs wine, grape juice. So grape juice, as of making this video, is not in the game. And then we have the feast. You can't make it because you don't have access to dawn crab platter. Now let's go to the remedy. These are potions. You can actually create these. You farm these essences in abyssal contracts. Most of them give you this, and gathering from mushrooms in level 50 areas. We have the attack, the defense, and the purification. It's up to you if you want to create them or not. But the bonus is pretty large. 20% damage dealt. That's actually amazing. That's actually great. In 1000 damage you deal a plus of 200. This is the defense damage taken minus 20. So if you're but it lasts for a small amount of time. So the green one lasts for 15 seconds. The blue one lasts for 24. So these two are only used when you are in the thick of the battle and you're either dealing or receiving damage. So that's when you use them. In utility, we have healing, mana, and XP bonuses. So let's go about it. First of all, we have the vegetable stir fry. This is the go-to food in utility for every class in the game except for healer. This one gives you max health and health regen. This is the go-to in any guide when you create your character. In any guide, this is the go-to food, the standard go-to food you should actually have in any situation. But again, as we said, it's up to you and up to your specific situation at the moment. Then we have the cookie rye, the honey rye cookie. In order to do this, you need 2 of the daily limited items. If you don't go out to farm them from the Violent Harvester and the Wasp, these are only limited, 5 and 10 per day. So crafting this is quite limited. This gives you 500 per second HP recovery for 18 seconds. And here we have the milk. You can buy tons of milk or gather it in orcs in any of the 2 locations. And the protein, as we said, you can actually get it from expeditions, from the shop, or just from the mobs. This one gives you 500 recovery in mana per 18 seconds. Now, if you drink this one, or if you eat the cookie, to get the recovery, you actually negate and disable the buff of the food. So you need to eat a food again. Then we have the guarba omelette. The guarba omelette. So the guarba omelette needs you want vegetable oil, salt, and guarba. So chiarba, whatever. You need to hunt it in wild herb, and you need any kind of egg to actually do the omelette. Moving on, we have what it gives you. It gives you health regen and mana regen 35. That's actually good. That's very good. But again, if you're a damage dealer, most of the time you actually need more HP and HP regen. So that's why you go here. But if you are a ranged DPS, you might go with this one to have more mana. So if you're a user of longbow, most of the time you run out of mana, so that's a good one. Moving on, we have the mushroom stir fried. So this actually gives you mana and mana regen. This is the best food for healers. So while this one is the best utility for any other class, this one is the best for healer. But again, if you want to have more mana in another class, go ahead and do it. Just stating what some guides tell, and for me, never listen to any guide telling you what to do in things of preference. Just do you do you. That's how I go about things, and that's what I do. Next, we have the honey sponge cake. So in this one, you combine the honey rye cookie and the healthy meat to make this one, and you get both of the bonuses with one food. That's actually great. That's one of the best recipes, I think, in the game to get back your HP and mana. Well, it's not one of the best, it's the best. Then we have the poultry and sea take mushroom stir fry. This one, it gives you skill heal 2.5%, mana cost efficiency 4. This is great for healers, but there is a catch. You need curry powder. And as we said, curry powder, I don't know if it's bugged or not, but oh my gosh, it's just not farmable. I mean, I've spent 3 hours and I only got 2 curry powder. I'm not going there again. That's it. Then we have Vienta style seafood fritters. This is good if you want to have survivability because of the Amitoy heal plus 50, which is actually very good, and the incoming heal 2.5. But, well, you can use it as a tank, but you need to farm the sea crab nipper and the hermit crab tail. Both of them you can hunt at the daybreak shore. So the hermit crab, you can hunt hermit crab to get the hermit crab tail, but in order to farm the sea crab nipper, you have to farm a sea crab only during a raining day. So in order to get this one, it has to be raining. Otherwise, you're not going to get it. The last one is this one. This is a good recipe, movement speed and attack speed. Again, it all depends on how you play and your playstyle. You need scorpion tail. In order to get scorpion tail, you just kill sand scorpions. I don't know how many you have to kill to get it. I have 0. I don't think if I've ever actually gotten any. But yeah, it's up to you. Then, moving on, we're going to miscellaneous. These are the food that give you buff. First one, we have the rye bread. You need the golden rye. You can only get 10 per day or go and harvest in the vicious harvesters in the golden rye pastures. This one gives you 15 fishing mastery bonus. So if you want to level up your fishing faster, as I've said in the fishing video, you get this buff, and then you go to saltwater fish. Fish for a fish there, get the fish you can dissolve, get more bait back, and keep fishing until you reach your level, the level you want. Then we have the pickled fruit candy. you can actually get the Tron apple by expeditions. So that's this one is a nice buff for cooking, and it's pretty easy to make. But you need 1 honey to do it. So you're actually tied to making up to 5 per day, unless you go and farm wasps. That's up to you. Then we have the Castler salad. So this one gives you experience bonus. Needs guava and celery. You can farm them in wild herbs, but the herba actually, you can get herba by expeditions, and that's why that's what I'm doing right now. And this is great. So this one gives you 50% bonus. Let's talk about this one for a minute. This bonus, this XP bonus is the XP you get by killing a monster. The XP you get while killing a monster also goes towards your mastery, your weapon masteries. But at the moment, it only does so when you are in an abyssal dungeon, so in an open dungeon in the game. So this bonus increases by 50% the XP you gain towards your mastery of your main weapon. The secondary weapon you have only gets 15% of the XP you get, so actually you're getting more XP to your secondary as well. So this bonus, some people might say that it doesn't matter if you're 50. It does. It helps you with your mastery experience, so you can get to a higher mastery level faster. Then we have the bird egg custard. This again, the Solan bonus is more effectively when you go to abyssal dungeons, because you already have the buff from the abyssal tokens. We'll talk about these things in a later guide. It's pretty easy to make. You need eggs. So we have the 10 eggs we can get daily, and any other egg. Milk, you can get unlimited amounts of it, and then we have the salt. Moving on, we have another buff. This one combines both the Kessler salad and the bird egg custard, but it gives you less bonus. So with one food, you can actually get both of them, because if you use this one and this one, the one negates the other, so you can only have one. But if you have the Tron apple tart, which actually that's unfortunate because you need to spend honey and the golden rye, but you get Tron apple from expeditions, so you can actually use this one, and instead of 50 on one of them, you get 30% on both of them. So that's actually nice if you want both money and experience. Then we have the golden apple pie. This one is specifically created to give you mastery bonus. So this one, if you can make it, it's better than the XP bonus. It's better than the castle salad. So if you want, you get this one specifically. And why is it better? It's far better than the salad because it gives you abyssal contract token efficiency, 10%. So you actually spend 10% less abyssal contract tokens than you would actually do if you didn't have this food. But you need to have a golden apple to craft it. So let me go ahead and craft it. I only have one golden apple. And yay. The last recipe is the crab meat pie. Again, you need crab legs and the tail, the nipper and the tail. This one, as you can see, instead of the EXP that this one gives, right? Instead of the EXP, it gives you Solan bonus. So it's like the difference in between these two and this one that gives you both. So instead of this, if you want the efficiency, you go with this one if you want money, and this one if you want XP. That's how you do it. That's everything about food. Now I want to go back and tell you give me 1, 2, 3, 4 dishes that you should actually create depending on your class, and then we're done. First one, vegetables stir fried. You should actually have it no matter your class, unless you are a healer. Mushroom stir fried. You should actually have it no matter. You should actually have it only if you are a healer. These two are two of the go-to plates because they are super easy to make and they give you enough bonus for your specific class. So these are pretty good. So going to attack, we have wild game steak. If you are any damage dealing class, this is the food you should actually get based on the online guides. But you do you. And when we talk about tanks, best fish to get, the best the best dish you should actually have is this one, Laslan style fish stew, because it increases all your evasion and endurance. These 4 plates are best used when you're doing PvE or you are out in the world and doing any other kind of shit you want. But again, there are PvP foods specific in specific enemies or builds you're going against, so it's up to you. This is the guide. Anything you want, just write down in the comments. I'm available to answer any of your questions. Sorry for the duration of the video. I didn't want to cut it or anything like that. I wanted to be original and straight to the point and all together. So yeah. So have a good day and see you at the next video. Bye bye.